Hey guys, it's Mr. Meli here. Today I wanted to do a video on making one of our first sort of craft type sculpture projects. Now, does anybody know about, or does anybody like pop-up books? I really like pop-up books myself. In fact, some of you may know that I like books of all types. But today I wanted to show you the very basics, the basic things you can build yourself if you want to begin making a simple pop-up book. So we'll start with some very basic ones, and then later we can learn how to make it more complicated. Okay, so check this out. This looks like a small book with a pop-up thing in the middle. It's a very simple shape, but look how interesting that is. The way that works. It's kind of a triangle that springs up out of the middle of the page. Now you can make a pop-up sculpture like this out of almost any type of paper. Heavier paper is better, construction paper or thin cardboard. However, this is very simple copy paper like we would have lying around at school for free drawing. So let me show you how to get started. Now the first thing you have to get good at if you're going to do pop-up sculptures is folding, but most of you are pretty good with that. So let's start with this. We're going to do the regular halfway fold, where we fold a piece of paper in half, connect the corners, and make a crease like this. Now it's really important when you're making pop-ups to make really good creases. Okay? I'm going to fold it back the other way and crease it that way too. Putting my finger along it and getting that really sharp. That helps a lot. Okay, now to get a smaller piece so that I get two things out of one paper, I'm just going to cut this in half. You don't have to do that, but that's what I'm going to do on this one. Now, from the folded edge, I'm going to make a simple cut just a little bit off from the center. Remember, this is the folded edge here. Just like that, one cut. Next, I'm going to fold a triangle like this. Okay? Remember, my main piece of paper is still folded. Now I'm going to fold it back the other way. Now I'm unfolding it. Now from this side, this part's a little tricky, but follow along. I'm going to push through and fold my book closed. Just like that. And now you'll see that when I open this back up, I have that amazing moving shape. It almost looks kind of like a mouth. Or a pyramid. Okay. Let's try another one. This is another very simple pop-up. I'm going to get the other half of my piece of paper that I had folded in half and then cut in half. Remember, you don't have to cut it in half. I did this to make a smaller, more manageable sized piece. And actually, to make it even smaller, I'm going to cut a little bit off of it like this. That's just to make the whole thing a little smaller and easier to deal with. Okay, we'll fold it in half, and from the side that is folded, remember I'm keeping my finger there to remind me which side is folded. I'm going to make two cuts. I'll cut like this. I'm going to cut like this. Now I didn't have to do any measuring for that. I just tried to make sure that by eye, the two cuts were about the same length. Now I'm going to fold this way, increase it, and fold it back the other way, and crease it again. Now I'm going to open the book up, and this part I'm going to bend this way, if you can see that. Fold everything back up. And now, when I open the book, I have a shape that pops out like that. Okay, I think that's cool enough, but let's see if we can do some other shapes or add some other features to this to make it even more interesting. I'm going to fold this back up. Now, I'm going to take my scissors and make two smaller cuts. It's like the two cuts I made here, but they're just closer together. Now, I'm going to fold this way, just like I did over here before. Flip it over and fold it the other way so that everything works smoothly. And bring it back. Now this time, when I open things up, I will have another set of shapes that pop up. Once you have them popped into the middle, give everything a fold, flatten it out nice, then you can open your book and see what you have. Now this is kind of interesting because it looks like several squares that are moving. So if this was a pop-up book, you would see shapes beginning to pop up. Now, if you were making this into a book, you could draw some other pictures. You could do some writing here. You could have a story that was going on. Because we're going to do one more shape next, but afterwards, we're going to talk about how we can imagine what these shapes might be actually looking like. This side almost looks like a robot with big square eyes, but we're going to get back to how we can decorate this and make it more interesting. Okay. Now, here we go. This one is a little more complex and even cooler. Look at that. It looks like a strange mouth, maybe almost a bird beak, and it looks like it's talking. Or it looks like a pyramid coming up out of the ground when you open it like this. If this is your book and you opened it that way. So how do we make this one? It's actually very easy. Let's check it out. Now, there's a piece of paper that I already folded in half. Remember, it's just regular paper, white paper. Folded it in half, and I creased it. From the folded edge, I'm going to make one cut right about in the middle. On my page, it's just a few inches long. Now I'm going to do a fold. I'm going to fold a triangle. You remember, this is like the first one that we did. Fold a triangle, except it has two triangle folds. I'm going to try and make them even, but they don't have to be really even. So first I cut, then I folded and folded. Now, I fold it back the other way across that same fold. Right across that same fold. Okay. So I cut, folded, folded. This is the tricky part. Let's see if I can do it. Now, just like we've been doing with all the others, we have to kind of poke this into the middle and fold it in. So the easiest way to do this is to kind of have the paper opened up and flat on a table, pull these in, and then carefully close the book. Okay, it looks like I did it. Flatten these out, careful not to rip anything, and now you will see that when I open this up, it's like a mouth. Okay, so let's try something. I'm going to take a magic marker. If you have a crayon or a pencil or a marker or anything, use that. I'm going to turn this into a face. Let me think. I know. It's like Angry Birds. Let's try something else. Now it's even angrier birds. So if this was a book, I used a pretty powerful magic marker there. And it bled through. I would open this up and I would see this. Wow. I'm going to put this one away and let's look at another one. Coming back to this, what do we see? This almost looks like some type of a house or a building. What do you see? I'd be interested to find out. Now, maybe you're thinking to yourself, okay, I see how he made this. I bet I could make some other things by making different cuts in different directions, and you would be right. For instance, very quickly to finish this one up, let's do a couple more cuts. Let's do some long, skinny ones on each side. And I'm going to fold and fold and fold back the other way. You have to be a little bit careful because these are kind of delicate because they're longer and thinner. I'm going to poke them through. Poke them through. Give the book a careful fold shut. Oh wow, look at that. They come outside of the book. Wasn't expecting that. And now it looks like some other type of a face, depending on how I look at it. So what I've created here is a paper sculpture that can be used as a pop-up book. And in our next video on this, we're going to figure out how to do even more shapes and maybe even cut separate shapes and add them inside here. But for now, if you guys want to experiment with this and play around with it, I think it would be pretty cool. I want to see what you can come up with for your shapes. And I want to see if you can create a pop-up book yourself. Okay, this is Mr. Meli, signing off for now. Please try this out, see what you come up with, and let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.